Welcome, it's Denzel Cooking Eat On. Today we're going to be making
this easy crockpot roast beef. So stick along with us to the end to see all our tips and tricks. Now to start, you want to get yourself a nice, well-marbled chuck roast. Then, any size will do, pat it dry. Once it's dry, it'll help it not steam but brown in the following steps, and that'll make more sense in a second. Now, I like to quarter mine so it cooks more evenly. It also gives you better browning, and you can brown all sides, which creates a deeper, richer flavor. I put a little bit of olive oil on. We coat those up, and then you want to go ahead and grab your favorite steakhouse seasoning. Get the pan warmed up. And after they're seasoned, go ahead and throw them in that pan to brown evenly. Not just on all sides, but be sure to stick around because we brown the edges too. All that browning will bring a depth of flavor that can't be replicated. Now make sure you generously season this because you want to bring that flavor over to the crock pot. And while we're browning this off, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What are some of your favorite crock pot recipes to make? Because we'd love to try those as well. Mom forgot to tell me that the smoke detectors were put back up. And that's how you want it to look, right there. Perfect. We got the top. But most people don't do the sides. Get those sides crusted up. And like I noted before, don't forget to brown those sides. It's not just about the top and the bottom. Make sure you get those sides as well. All parts of it. And then this makes And once you get your first two browning their sides and your pot comes back up to temperature, you can go ahead and put in the next two cuts into the pan to brown those up as well. Now, once you're done browning up all the meat, don't waste those brown bits and that seasoning in the bottom of the pan. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add some water to that, but we're also going to use this soup mix as part of our flavoring stock for the roast beef. So go ahead, add your water, get all those tasty brown bits off the bottom, and then add in your soup mix. In this case, this is a beefy mushroom soup mix. So if you're following the recipe along at home, go ahead and do that. This will soften the veg that's in there. This isn't a necessary step, but I like to bloom it a little bit before we put it in the crock pot. Now, once that's done and the meat is rested just a little bit, I want to go ahead and come back and finish it with our additional seasonings. Now, I go heavy with onion and garlic. The reason I don't do this during the browning process is if you put that in during that process, you could end up scorching or burning the onion powder and the garlic powder and your fresh garlic, which we use as well in the crock pot. That doesn't impart a great flavor. In addition to the Lipton soup mix I used, I'm going to go ahead and add a can of golden mushroom to this. We don't need to add any more water to that golden mushroom because the water we have here will provide enough for that condensed soup. So go ahead, pour that golden mushroom in, and then I use just enough to clean out the can so I got use of all that soup. Then I add a heavy dose of black pepper because that's my favorite. We went ahead and turned the crock pot on and we let this baby ride. Now our crock pot's what you call a smart pot, which means after the cooking time that you selected, it'll automatically switch to warm and just sit there resting at the perfect temp. Once it's finished up, you can see that the beef is sitting there in a beautiful au jus. So we're going to pull that beef out. We're going to put it into its own bowl because we're going to separate this and shred it up. So we want to pull out any big chunks of fat, but we also want to shred it to make sure it's tender, but it also makes it easier for serving and then putting it back in the condensed juice to make it more flavorful because the individual shreds will carry more of that gravy and au jus than a large chunk will. Once that's done, put it back in your au jus until you're ready to serve. You can put it back in the crock pot and leave it on warm as well if you'd like. Then make your favorite side dishes. In our case, we went with beans and mashed potatoes. But you could also serve this in a sandwich if you wanted.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed. And if you did, consider liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications. Take care. Have a great day.